So just like you said, if I'm going right at this point, if I'm having female troubles, don't rap at me about something else, because I like that. I can't relate to that right now. If right now I'm going through a drug situation, don't rap at me about something else. Rap to me about the drugs and the harm that it's going to do to my body or something like that. So you just have to make it. You just have to make it relative.
Sometimes us as older people, when we do talk to the young people, when there's certain times, when a period of time when we need to say something to you to try to correct you in the moment, that sometimes it's how we, it may be how we come across. I know when I was young, you know, how the old people used to come at me. It's kind of like now that I'm older, I kind of take that because that's what I know, and I'm going to come at you. And then sometimes younger people aren't receptive to that. You know, it's kind of like, you know, you can't talk to me that way, or, you know, and they're kind of missing the point. And that's what I've been finding out. And I have to sit back and reevaluate myself at times to try to get my point across to the younger generation, especially when they're not, you know, like a relative of mine or something like that. They say like, I don't have to listen to you, old man. Those kind of things. And sometimes that can make me go into a shell, and then I'll just let people just go head on and do what they're gonna do. And like you said, sometimes we're dropping the ball because we're seeing what's going on in society right now, and it looks like we're dropping the ball because we are. Somewhere, we're dropping the ball somewhere. You know, we don't know who, but I think as all of us collectively, the ball's being dropped.
I wonder if we also fail to state where we made mistakes, so that when we're talking, we're always acting like we did it right all along. Right? My two kids, the ones that went through college, I had them when I was 18. And the story I really have is how to be successful when you have kids, because I know brothers have that. There's lots of failures I've had, and I've been able to overcome them. And what I wonder is that really the stories that we need to be passing on to say, not, you know, right now, here's where I am and this is what I have, but here are the failures I had along the way, and here's how I overcame them. Because I think everybody's going to have similar kinds of failures, and what they need is, man, when I hit that roadblock, what do I do to get over it? How do I deal with it myself? Because I'm going to feel bad, but then how I deal with all the external forces that's going to come to bear because of this failure, and then how do I overcome it? And I think those are strong lessons, and I really don't hear people speak much about when they fail, so that then they can turn around and say, you know what, here is how I overcame it.
Everybody have something on this? We have a comment over here from the like to jump in.
This is good. This is what we wanted, right? Yeah.
Matt got it. Based off of what KC said, I feel like the first thing to do to actually for you to preach to us without it going out of one ear and out the other is to actually make a substantial relationship first before you start preaching. Because, like, basically in general, we grew up the same. We both grew up trying to become a man. We have problems just like anybody else. So we're not just going to stop and drop everything just to listen to what somebody else has to say. It's just like basically when your father was teaching you when you were a child, you guys had a substantial relationship before it. That way you can actually understand and stick it to what you were learning. And then as far as that, you can actually keep that in your mind as what they're telling.
He kind of hit it right here with the you know, you have to get in close. You know, for one, it's kind of hard to sit back and, you know, talk to somebody about the type of problems and feel comfortable about discussing these type of issues with somebody that you're not even really too familiar with. If you can't confide in this person to, you know, have your best interests at heart and to not go around and tell your business, or, you know, you have to have that type of relationship with them. I think that's where it starts off first. Before you even want to give the information out, you want to make sure that you see him as a friend. So when you're giving this information out, he's going to be receptive to it because he knows that you actually care about him. You know what I mean? I think that has a lot to do with it. And it also has a lot to do with my age, because I'm closer to these young men in their age, you know, so I can relate to a lot of the stuff that they're going through right now as we speak, because I was just his age 5 years ago, you know. So I think it has a lot to do with, you know, me, myself as a man, and, you know, a lot of the people around us, because, you know, I don't know, I'm not trying to be anybody's father, but, you know, whether or not you guys, they know it, they do look up to us, you know. They see us and they like, man, I've been 17 before, they've never been 24. you know. So I think you really have to get comfortable with these guys on a level to where they understand that they're like, man, they see you as more than just somebody to talk to. They like, man, this is my friend, you know what I mean? And that has a lot to, I think that really has a lot to do with it, you know, where you get that relationship established, and then, you know, it shouldn't be something that just happens once every blue moon, you know. Don't just come and talk about it when the problems is going on. Let's get together and have a good time and have lunch when everything is fine and dandy. You know, let's just not get together and discuss the problems